Alright guys, today we're going to be talking about how much a white oak tree is worth and how much did I get for this white oak that I'm cutting up here on the sawmill. Now, a few things that determine the value of a tree is obviously the species, and a white oak has gotten very popular in the last several years. Now here's some reasons why the white oak tree has gotten so popular. The first thing is because of its durability and its strength, and that helps the value of a white oak tree. But it's known for its exceptional durability and its strength. It's resistant to decay, resistant to insects. So if you have some outdoor furniture, or you want to make some outdoor furniture, white oak is a good choice for that construction of that furniture. It's also good for flooring. It's a hardwood, so it's also another reason why it's gotten to be so valuable is because it's attractive in appearance. It has a beautiful grain pattern. It's light to medium brown, and you can stain it to where it's almost white looking. So it's becoming a popular choice for furniture, cabinetry, flooring, things like that. And it's also versatile. Like I said, it can be used interior, exterior. Somebody said white oak holds water in good, and it keeps water out good. So that's the reason. The reason it's so water resistant is because of the cell structure that provides that resistance. And it's pretty widely available. It's throughout the Northeast and all of North America. It's abundant. So it's a good choice for your outdoor, indoor projects. Now there's a few other things I want to talk about when talking about the value of white oak, but I want y'all to look at this blade break here. So I brought me a little scraper so I could get the sawdust off better than just trying to do it by hand. But let me just show you what this wood looks like when it's first cut. This is white oak. Of course, all that brown is going to turn white. It's going to be as white as the edges are, if not whiter. But you can see what it looks like when it has when it's green, and it's going to turn pretty white. But that's what it looks like. Now, if you were to stain it, you would get that color, or put some poly on it, you get maybe close to it, but it's going to be whiter than that when it dries, and that's what people like about white oak. So another thing that determines the value of a white oak tree, or a specific tree, is the size and the quality of that tree. Now you can see this tree that we're cutting up here. It was a small tree. It got blown over by a storm that came through, and so it's not going to be as valuable as a large tree. I mean, I don't think this tree was probably was less than 18 inches in diameter, which it's good for what we're using it for. We can salvage it, and that's the good thing about actually having a sawmill, is you can salvage lumber that otherwise it would just rot on the ground. So us being able to salvage this tree. Now this is a different tree, and it was also a small tree that got blown over, and we're talking 18 inches. When I say small, I'm saying 18 inches, and they're not going to be as valuable as the huge big trees. But the way they calculate the value of a tree is by tonnage. How many tons in a tree? And this tree would not have a lot of ton. It would just because it was so small. Now they may cut it, but you're not going to get a lot out of it. Now, one advantage of having a sawmill here is the blade is thinner, so you can get more production out of a log with a bandsaw than you can with a circular sawmill. So what they would give you for this log, the timber people would give you, would be about $60 probably for this tree or these two logs. It's not very high in value. Now keep watching. At the end I'm going to tell you what I got for this log. So this sawmill we got cutting here is a Woodmizer LT70, and it's fully automatic. You can flip the dogs with the hydraulics, and it makes it pretty easy when you're trying to cut up boards. But this white oak is what the person ordered it for trailer boards, so they're going to use it to cover their trailer with, because as I said, it's a wood that is highly durable. And I've had someone tell me before that their granddaddy had some white oak boards in the trailer. He put some Thompson's water seal or something on it, and it lasted over 30 years. So leave in the comments if you've had that similar experience, or if you've used white oak for trailer boards, how long it's lasted. I'd like to know. But these boards turned out to be pretty good. The man, when I took it to him, was pretty excited about it. He knew the value of white oak, and there's not a lot of people that cut white oak lumber on a sawmill like this. So you really can't go to a sawmill and say, I want to get this many boards. They don't really sell it to the public like that. But if you can get access to it through somebody that has a sawmill, a portable sawmill, and that's a pretty good thing to be able to have. But so this guy needed 14 boards to cover his trailer, and we wound up giving him about 19 boards. When I cut these logs, I don't save the extra boards just because they're just going to sit around. Everything's pretty custom, so the next guy may want 14 feet, the next guy may want 8 inches wide. So because it's so custom, a lot of times I'll just give them, if I get 15, 16 boards, I'll just give them 2 or 3 boards. It's no big deal. But so I guess I could have got a little more out of this order if I saved the boards, but we're not looking to do that. Now this sawmill actually has a debarker, as you can see it running right there, and it cuts a groove so that the blade will stay sharp longer. That thing works pretty good to get dirt off of it. But so if you have a way to increase value of your lumber, a good way to do that is through a sawmill. Now you don't have to get a LT70, but you can get a smaller sawmill and you just use it for lumber around your house, because we have trees that blow down all the time, and I seldom cut trees. I usually use the one that the storms have blown down. But this is a good way to increase the value of your timber by using trees that have been blown down by a storm. And when you get the bark off and you start cutting like this is when you really start making some boards. Like I said, this guy needed 14 boards. This is 7 of them, and I think the other log gave me 7. And that's trees that have been blown down. So what we ended up getting out of this tree, or these 2 logs, was $600. So $600 for a tree that you might have got 64 from the sawmill, and you're able to sell retail to people that need it for trailer. And this is just as trailer board. If I was able to dry it and sell it for actual furniture grade lumber, I could have gotten a lot more. But just as trailer boards, I was able to get $600 for the 14 boards.